Welcome to the second episode of the Boys of Spring. We are going to be going over everything for the week 4 for the United Football League. We are absolutely crushing it right now. I have yet to get a sweep on the entire weekend, but we are 9-2-1 on the plays that we give out on these, in the Discord. And the show is doing great as well. So I'm excited. How you doing, Jort?
I'm good, man. A little, hey, I'm glad to see you today. We tried to do this last time, and unfortunately, there was like a freak disaster in your area or whatever. The internet went out and we lost it. But we are on week 4 of the UFL, which is crazy. It feels, man, it's nice to have this back. We were talking the other day, and it's like, hey, I was like, I like to do MLB, I like to do, NBA, but like, man, it's just something about doing football. And you said it's a passion.
Yeah.
And, it's been nice to watch it, and it's nice to talk about it here for a brief little bit.
I know the last 2 years it hasn't felt like it does this year. The product wasn't as good either from the USFL or the XFL.
Right.
But this year, I don't know what it is. The product looks and feels much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
I definitely agree. And it's, the combination of it. Like I said in the first episode, like I do still wish there was more teams. It feels like it almost feels like, betting on like Korean baseball or something. It's like the same teams like all the time over and over, but it is certainly nice. I will say here real quick too, for those of you that are, last time we recorded, like we pre-recorded and, posted it as like what's called an instant premiere. Today, we are actually live. I can see that there's, X amount of people on YouTube, some people watching on Twitter. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns on either platform, you guys should be able to pop that in there, and then we could, respond or see it or anything like that. But without further ado, sick. What are we going to get into?
We're definitely live. Yeah. So, just to start off, let me ask you a question, because I've asked a few people that are into spring football. What do you think about this 4th and 12?
I don't think I like it.
No,
from a gambling standpoint, I do not like it. From a this is entertaining.
Yeah,
sure. I just feel like it makes spread betting very difficult. And then yesterday I went and looked. Yesterday I feel like it just makes it just, if it's a close game, it's almost like the over is gonna hit. And I went and I looked. Last week, every game went over.
Yep, 4-0.
In the first 2 weeks, though, it was 7-1 to the unders, and then all of a sudden, it's overs. But then we have some of the 4th and 12, kind of thing coming in. I think it's pretty cool. It's certainly nothing that you'll ever see in any other, sport or anything like that. Momentum's a hell of a thing, and you score, you get that 2 point. Now you have a 4th and 12. I mean, I don't know. Has anybody even stopped it yet? Are they not like 2-0 or 3-0?
I think they might be 2-1. The tough part is that I don't like it because I've been on the wrong side of both of them. Right. So the side I bet on. So specifically last week, like the Renegades, they had like 200 more yards. Right. And then the 4th and 12, like they didn't belong in that game like at all. In my opinion, the Renegades were winning that game the entire time. And here's the worst part about it. It's like the only rule in football where they only allow you to do it if 2 things are going on. It's the 4th quarter and you're behind.
Yeah.
So a team that's up can't like do it in like the 2nd quarter just because they feel like they have an opportunity to.
Right.
So, it's just, yeah, Hard Rock is terrible. Yeah, I had to use that when I was down in Florida. Hard Rock is definitely a tough book to use, but maybe they'll allow it to be available here shortly. Okay, let's just kick it right off. First game's at 12:30, and this is another thing I have a bone to pick with them, Jort. I don't like how they set it up. Where I wish they would do it more like the Canadian Football League. The Canadian Football League has it figured out. They have like the same amount of teams, and what do? They have a game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
We're getting one game at 12:30 today, and then 2 games at 7 o'clock.
Like why?
So you're like, what are we like? Obviously, you can see the TVs behind me. I'm capable of doing it, but for just an average viewer,
right?
Like you now have to pick and choose. Right, yeah. One game on Sunday at 2 o'clock.
And I remember seeing this last year. And last week, it went around maybe week 2. It was around like the national championship, so like they're scheduling around other bigger events. In fact, they could be going around like who's got a bigger concert at this point, with some things that are maybe a little more popular if that area is caught up and it's got a band or a singer or something like in it, but yeah, unfortunately I think they're stuck around today NBA playoffs,
they competed with the national championship,
right.
And then last weekend they competed with the Masters Sunday.
Right. Yeah. And then you have, the NBA champ. You got 4 games on today, so they're kind of bouncing around between different networks or something like that. But yeah, it's unfortunate for somebody that wants to try to enjoy, all of it. To kind of throw it all in like that.
Yep. All right. So why don't you want to announce the first game on the slate with the spread and the total?
Yeah. What is the first game?
So the first game is the Showboats versus the Battlehawks.
Well, hey, real quick here.
Yeah,
Timmy, that is surprising. I did not know there was QB passing props on ESPN Bet.
I wonder what state he's in.
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked at that or not. Because that is certainly something missing, is being able to bet on some QB props or just props in general.
It's killing it. The fact that we can't bet props kills it.
Right.
It really like pigeonholes us on what we can or can't bet. Let's see if I have it.
He's in VA.
He's in Virginia. Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Anyhow, though, the first game up though is the Showboats at the Battlehawks. Battlehawks 7-point favorite and over under set to 45.5, which is actually the third lowest.
I got it. Passing props. Thank you, Timmy. Yeah. Passing props on ESPN Bet. How about that?
I got some time to look into that.
Yes, we do. All right. Okay. So here, the best part about this game is that it's in St. Louis, and last time they played, they had 40,000 people show up.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest notes that I have is that St. Louis has a massive advantage with the home field advantage.
Yep. I mean, that place is just rocking.
Yeah.
It's just rocking.
Yeah.
And this one, I was just like, oh man, like I try to not pigeonhole myself in a position where I'm just like, I try to look back and I remember, oh, this is what happened last week, right? Because then what you get is the Stallions absolutely just like slaughtering the Showboats.
Yeah.
And then you have the Battlehawks finally looking really, really good. I mean, AJ McCarron just like looked fantastic. I think he threw for 200. I don't even. Do you have that up by any chance? Do you know how many yards he threw for? But Hakeem Butler looked fantastic.
I mean, he just has these receivers that. I mean, I think I love AJ McCarron, but he also has this complement of AJ McCarron only threw for 152 last week.
Wow.
But
okay, 152.
But I mean, he's got these guys like Aitman and Butler. I mean, these guys are 6'6".
Yeah.
Hakeem
Butler. Yep.
And I actually wrote it. I mean, he's got like 3 Mike Evans on his team.
Yeah, Hakeem Butler's a big dude.
Yeah, tall go-getter. Aitman's the same. He's got at least 2 dudes on there that are like Mike Evans, like jump ball type guys.
Yep. So, I mean, for me, I don't know how you feel about this. I believe that this line is a complete overreaction to what happened last week. Yeah. The Battlehawks beat the Brahmas by 7. And let's be honest, there was a few times where McCarron just like tossed it up. And it was just like, Hakeem Butler's down there somewhere.
You're right.
Right?
Yep.
And the Showboats got smacked by the best team. I mean, we're talking head and shoulders above everybody else in the league. I mean, I think that it's not even close. Cook is through for 133 yards, and they had a total of 20 yards rushing.
Yeah,
as a team.
Yeah, that D line.
So I think that this number is a total overreaction. I said it last week that there's only one team in this entire league that deserves to be a touchdown favorite, and that's the Stallions. I'm taking the Showboats with the points here.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree. I think at the same point, I mean, to give a full complement of some action here, I would lean on the over, especially thinking that, especially if you like a dog, I feel like you're normally gonna like you're normally gonna like an over with the dog, thinking they're gonna keep it close.
Yep.
But I mean, AJ McCarron's been fantastic. The Showboats have been able to score too. I personally think that it could be a shootout. That they're going to be able to give them the run for their money. We know the Battlehawks can score with the best of them. And with this whole 4th and 12 thing, I mean, there's a possibility of a 9-point play. There's possibility of a 4th and then a field goal. And speaking of field goals, like these kickers are fantastic.
They don't miss.
So like it's the special teams. The Battlehawks, also great returner. They're always set up in great field position. Special teams have been fantastic. Kickers have been fantastic, which is going to lead to just more and more points. defense. So
yeah. And with the way the
like
kickoff is done too, right? They kick it off from like the 25 or the 28 or whatever. Like everything's getting brought back to like the 45 or the 50, which a few plays, these kickers are now in field goal range, and this game's in a dome.
Yeah.
I have the over as well. I took that today. I took that in the Showboats +7. I think that those are the best plays on the board. I can't take an under with the Battle Hawks that can score, and their defense is, they're going to be a team that has to outscore every other team.
Right.
This week.
Not much defense. Definitely.
All right, so game number 2. I don't know which one's up first because they're both at 7. And I don't even know how to tell you guys to watch them. But I guess let's look at, DC Defenders at Birmingham Stallions.
Yep, that's what's listed on FanDuel as first.
Okay. So, I mean, I cannot tell you enough about these Birmingham Stallions. They've lost 3 games total over the last 3 seasons, including this season so far. They've had 3 different quarterbacks. This year, they've had 2. They've won back-to-back USFL champions over the last 2 years. They're now 3-0, and they're beating people handedly. And the thing that's at -9, I have to take them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points, but I think that they beat this team like 30-10, 35, 34. I don't know. They beat them bad. But what scares me is that there is rumors out there, like the depth chart got released, and Adrian Martinez is supposedly not the starter today.
Yeah, I was waiting to say that. Yeah. How? Like Adrian Martinez last week was 18 for 28. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Mm-hmm. 334 yards and 2 touchdowns. And let's not forget that he looks fantastic running the ball.
Yeah.
He's averaging 8 yards a carry, 5 attempts, 44 yards. Oh, and he ran for a touchdown. He had a 23-yard, run. Dude, there's no way. I mean, there's no way that he can't be starting. But I mean, apparently he's not. But I mean, I think they'll quickly, if there's some lag in the offense or anything like that, it's Corral's time to either take the winning spot or lose it at this point, in my opinion.
So I mean, I'm at the point where I feel like Holtz is like looking at who he's playing, and he's like, which quarterback, like, is the best matchup against this defense?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Adrian Martinez is hard to deny. The 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, 44 yards rushing with a rushing touchdown. But the weapons that are on this team, I'm talking Kane had 144 yards with 7 receptions. Sternberger finally showed up, who I think is the best tight end in the league.
Solid. Yeah. 73 yards for him.
I don't have a play on the total here because I don't know that the DC Defenders can help us out enough to get us over this total. But Birmingham -9, I think, is I will literally take them to the point like that they prove me that they can't cover a spread.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're the 49ers of this league. I mean, they're like the same color. But realistically, I mean, they are. And they have too many weapons, and their defensive line is fantastic. They're all over the place.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Is Nakua a Panther?
Yes, he's a Panther.
Okay, it's almost the same color. I was gonna say because Nakua is a beast. I mean, that's who our thumbnail is Nakua. But
last week.
Yeah, I mean, just to the point to where, I mean, they might not even be allowing. They're scoring the most, and they've got the best defense. I mean, it's just head and shoulders difference.
That defensive line is scary.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of why I was going back today with the Battle Hawks and the Showboats, is because Case Cookus got absolutely, beat up. I mean, that kid is so tough. The hits I saw him take looked like they were in any given Sunday.
Yeah. He was getting murdered.
He had 7 sacks.
Didn't we lose a quarterback to injury?
Yeah. So Chase Garbers.
Okay. For some reason I was thinking it was Cookus, but then when I was watching, I rewatched the game and I was like, I don't see it.
Chase Garbers is out for the for the Brahmas. Yeah. So we might as well just move on right now, right? Because the wrong team is favored in the third game. Yeah. The Panthers exploded last week with their offense. To me, okay, the Stallions look great defensively. Their defensive front is by far the best I've seen in spring football, Canadian football. There's no comparison. They are the best.
For sure.
I think holistically, though, as a defense, as a group, as a unit, as 11 men, the Panthers are the best, in my opinion.
I do like the Panthers.
They also have the best special teams. What is it?
Bates.
Special plays, special players, special teams, or however. Yeah. Tuesday. Right. I mean, the Panthers are great. The one piece that they've been missing was their offense, and last week they showed up.
Yeah.
So you're going to give me one of the best defenses in the league against a backup quarterback?
Yeah. Right. I don't even know who the quarterback would be, to be honest.
They said it. I mean, I saw it and I was just like, I paid zero attention to it because I'm like, this is lunch.
Right.
Like, this is the fact the line hasn't moved has me a little nervous, but at the same time, I think people are a little low on the Panthers. But EJ Perry showed up. You know, he threw for 208 yards. He was the leading rusher last week with 60 yards. And they got a kid at receiver, Sims, who is just a big play material. He's had 2 long touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
It's Quentin Dormady, I think. He was in the XFL last year.
Okay.
He was a Roughnecks quarterback, I think, last year.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Which they were good then. But it doesn't change anything. But it goes, I knew it was a name I would, recognize or whatever.
Right.
But
so yeah, I think wrong team favored here.
Well, who do you have favored? Because I wonder if the line didn't flip.
So no, I mean, I just pulled up ESPN Bet real quick, and it still has Brahmas -1.5.
See, I'm on FanDuel. It has the Panthers at -1.5.
Okay, yeah. Okay, see, okay. Take the money line right now on the Panthers. Right. Grab it anywhere you can. Right. That is the play. That is a lock.
Yeah.
Now, I did think the Renegades last week were a lock.
Yeah. They shouldn't have lost.
But we got 4th and 12th.
But yeah, I mean, you have EJ Perry looks fantastic. I mean, he's running the ball so well. Had 2 rush touchdowns. It's to the point where, I mean, I made a note of it. Like they're running a lot of those read options. I mean, they're having to give him a true like Lamar Jackson type. They got to pay attention to him. There's none of they're not crashing like the halfback. I mean, you see them giving a guy is going to Perry. I mean, he's taking a guy out of the play on those read actions. They're afraid of him, and he's taking hits. He's not really sliding. I mean, he's been diving into the end zone. Dude's been a baller, and he's been throwing the ball pretty well too.
Yeah.
And like we talked about, Nacua on there defensively looked fantastic. He had an interception last week.
Yep.
Thumbnail player of the week for us. And Bates, man. I mean, it's like I was watching towards the end of the game, and the announcer they just got past the 50, and the announcer's like, "Well, we're in Jake Bates territory." I think his name's Jake.
Yeah.
And it's like you get in plus territory, and you're in field goal range. Like. Maybe let's be a little more realistic. Let's get him to the 40 or something like that, But like, I mean, it's when you have that kind of weapon. I mean, dude, I feel like he's going to be in the NFL next year. He's going to be in a camp somewhere. Like,
so let me ask you a question: is this the kid that hit that last-second field goal from Texas A&M against Alabama when they beat him? I feel like it is.
This is the guy that hadn't kicked since like. Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, high school. Yeah, so then that can't be right. That can't be right.
No. Okay. What actually I didn't mention it. I've got a note from actually the first show we did. I never deleted off my notes here. One of my favorite parts about this league is, and some announcers are better. Some of the play-by-plays are better at it, but they're like, so and so out of. They say what college he's out of.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like that. I love it. You guy will be kicking, and it's like, oh, the Michigan State top, like special teams score, that kicker or whatever, like led the Big Ten in scoring, blah, 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 as he's kicking or something like that. Oh, the Alabama, former 2nd round pick, it's kind of cool to like, you forget about these players, and,
right.
and you that's where, some players, quote unquote, go to die. Some players turn around and, they get recognized. During the offseason, you see a lot of if you follow people on Twitter for, XFL or any UFL, media or anything like that, you see a lot of like, this person's been, invited to this camp. This person's been invited to this camp. Like you have a lot of former XFL, USFL players. Like Sal Cannella was with the Packers for a while. AJ went to the Bengals, a lot of that stuff, but I don't know where the heck I was going with that. But anyway, long story short.
No, I mean, the kickers, I think, are going to be getting a lot of love from the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Look, I think they went something of like I think they missed 2 kicks as a whole group last week.
Yeah, great.
And I honestly think that Bates has hit more 60-yard field goals than I think all the NFL. I could be like straight cap, but I feel like he's made 3 60-plus yarders.
Yeah. I mean, I just pulling it up right here. You have, Bates is 5 for 5 as long as it's a 64. This McCrane for the defenders, 8 for 8 because I mean the defenders can't score. So I mean that's the only offense has been. 58 yarder though as his max. This Coughlin guy, that's the MSU guy. He led like Big Ten or whatever, 8 for 9, but a 57 yarder. Anyway, 6 for 6 at 55, 6 for 7 at 54, 5 for 6 at 52, 8 for 9. So I mean, we're talking 1, 2, 3 misses in 3 weeks,
and they're deep too.
Bombing.
Yeah, they're bombs.
So like
they're bombs.
That's wild.
And I think that's why you've also seen like the numbers like inflate a little bit on the totals.
Yeah,
is because I think they're starting to realize like, oh, none of these kickers are like out of range.
They're scoring from literally anywhere.
Yeah, I literally just posted a video on my Twitter the other day of like I think the Roughnecks kicker like warming up, just drilling one from 70.
Yeah, like
just.
Which you'll see. I mean, you'll see NFL players doing that too, under no duress or anything like that, But
I really believe that the UFL guys are just like, fuck. I mean, fuck it.
Yeah,
like let's go out there and let's just kick it.
Hold my beer,
Right. Like if Bates has a 70-yarder today.
Yeah, that'd be
great. Like if they have him set up at the end of the second half, no time's running out. You think they let him kick it?
I mean, why not? Just go to the point where, I mean, when you have that kind of kicker, why not just like let it rip instead of,
especially when they're in a dome.
Yeah, and be prepared for a run back.
Right. Of course,
I don't know if we're at that kind of ability. College teams certainly can do it. Yeah, that's wild.
All right, and let's move to the final game of the week. It's at 2 p.m. on Sunday. We get screwed. They only gave us 1 on Sunday, so enjoy today while you got it. We get 3 football games. The Arlington Renegades at the Houston Roughnecks. The Renegades are favored -2.5, and the total is set at 46.5. The Renegades owe me money.
Yeah.
They owe me money.
Yeah, me too.
I had a money line last week. I didn't want to take the spread because it was like 2.5. It was -150. But this week, I'm taking the spread. The Roughnecks, I think, are the worst team in the league. Arlington Renegades, I don't think they deserve to be 0-3.
No. That's how they were last year, though.
They made a push, right? Yeah. They went and won the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, come on. I mean, even if you wanted to, I wonder what their future. This is crazy because I think the Stallions are a walk-away winner here in this league. But let's see what the future is on Arlington Renegades are +2,000. You can even choose the conference winners. So Arlington Renegades to win the conference is +1,100. I think I would like to take that.
Yeah, just because they've proven they come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they win when
Battlehawks, Brahmas, and Defenders.
Yeah, that Stallions at +150 is some. At least on FanDuel, that's some good value.
That's fantastic value. They opened up, I believe, at +300. So there hasn't been crazy movement, and they deserve to. Honestly, I think, in my opinion, be minus. The Battlehawks at +230 is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not the second. I don't.
No.
Offensively, they're just so dang good.
Yeah.
But but I will say, hey, real quick, guys, we do have a decent amount people watching live right now. As we're breaking down this last game, if you guys have any particular questions or anything you guys want to address, certainly pop that in the chat, Twitter and YouTube. You guys can both do that. That way we're not just sitting around like, hey, does anybody have anything? Go ahead and pop it in now. If you guys have anything, then hang out to the end. And then we can talk about it or do anything. And then we'll put Ty lost his mic. And then we'll put together we can put together a little parlay at the end too. But my point on this game is I said from the jump that it's Lindsey Scott, right?
Yeah.
That he was going to be a problem. And it's funny, like you tweeted little Kyler Murray, he even holds the ball like him. Kyler Murray and Lindsey Scott runs like a kid that's not supposed to have something.
Yeah.
He stole a popsicle.
Yeah.
You're trying to chase him in the backyard, and he's running like squirrely and his chest arched out. But they're utilizing him well, and I don't know what kind of arm he has to be honest, but Luis Perez not a bad quarterback, but maybe at some point they'll make a change. But I think he's certainly that X factor. I mean, he ran. I think he ran for at least that 2-point conversion. He may have ran for a touchdown late, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that I think it's going to be an issue. Ty, I feel like you did something to your mic. Yeah. How to plug it back in?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Maybe that's good. Talk. Oh, I lost you. You didn't mute it, did you again? Anyway, dead air on the whatever. It's got to do something with your, because it's like it was kind of like crackling when you were like messing with like the back end of it or whatever. Anyhow, like I said, if you guys got anything for us, Taco, I see you're in here. I'll be live on my show here in about 30 minutes. We can go ahead and start trying to put together a parlay, though, I think, which is something that we would do. Maybe I can just get some visual cues from Ty at the end here as I accidentally refreshed it. And that's the hard part about like trying to find some of this on some of your books, is that you got to actually like dig. There's not like an icon for it and stuff. I always felt bad for like the MMA guys. Like it was never like an MMA up top. You always had to like scroll for it or something. But I don't know. Ty broke his equipment. Okay, so we got the 3 games on Saturday. We got the 1 game on Sunday.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Cool. All right, we got it working.
All right, I can stop pretending. All right.
Nice.
Anyhow, though, I think we feel pretty well. Let's see. What is the first game? So it was the Showboats and the Battlehawks. I think you were feeling. I think I agree with the +7. I think we both, unless we wanted to go over. I don't think you can same game, right?
Yeah, on ESPN Bet you can. So that's like where I'm cooking it up at. So yeah, I mean, I feel equally confident about both of them. The thing that I don't like about them, the only reason why I would choose the over versus the 7 is that we can land on a push with the 7.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that's cool and all, but like also some dumb shit could happen at the end with like, what do you think? I mean, I love the +7. I like the over.
I mean, the over was my lean or whatever. Like I said, if you're on a dog, I feel like you're expecting there to be points.
Okay, so let's roll with the over. 45.5 at ESPN Bet. It is -105.
Yeah, same thing. Well, different odds, but on FanDuel.
Oh, okay.
I'll build on FanDuel too, because we got because the link and stuff. We can share that out. Second game was the Defenders and the Stallions.
Yep, I'm taking
at +100. What I'm looking at.
I got -115, but yep.
Yeah, big number, but like unless the Defenders, I mean, I think you could argue a potential over with that, just as with the. I mean, we're getting past it, but I mean, with the Stallions putting up like 30 themselves, and then we need just 17 points from the Defenders, like what if they show up kind of thing. But I don't know if they do. I think the 9 is probably going to be the safer bet.
Yeah, I agree. And then I'm taking Panthers money line, obviously.
Yep, definitely.
And then I'm taking Renegades -2.5.
Which would give us oh my gosh. On FanDuel, that is +1, 2, 3, 4. That's gotta mean something.
Oh, is it really? I got a +1151 on ESPN Bet.
Yeah, because I probably Stallions is +100.
Let's see. Okay, if you are on ESPN Bet and you want to add something, a little special to this, let's see. We could go. Oh man, I hate that it's only passing props. Player props. EJ Perry over 170.5 passing.
It's so hard to like go through, and you'd have to. Let me see something.
They don't let you add the player prop to it.
Oh no.
No.
EJ Perry is averaging 195 a game.
Yeah.
It's only 170 something. That seems low.
Yeah. All right.
It'd be nice if they had all-purpose yards on there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just some rushing, receiving type stuff. But okay, yeah. So the parlay for those of you listening, and we'll put it on. I'll at least make sure I post on Twitter. We'll post in the Discord as well. First game over 45, and then reminder, like there's 3 games. We got a 12:30, which starts about an hour and a half from now, and then 2 late games. But over 45.5 in the Showboats and the Battlehawks, the Stallions -9, the Panthers money line. And then the Renegades -2.5. If you're not about that spread, take the money line. It's not a huge difference. You got a -115 to a -160. Still a solid, solid parlay or whatever. But on FanDuel, that's plus 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I've seen. I'm not a big numbers guy, but it's kind of cool to whenever I have a bet that's a 1, 2, 3. D-Rock taught me you say it's easy as 1, 2, 3, and like it's just easy.
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is that an odzagami?
Yeah, scoring
odzagami.
Right.
Anybody have any questions before we let Jork get to his main chick, which is the lunchtime in the lab. It's cool if nobody does. Listen, you guys can hit us up on Twitter. I love talking football, so feel free to reach out to me literally about anything. Any questions you have regarding the totals on the player props or whatever. This league is kind of shaky, but I love that they're starting to add them. And we're hitting this parlay. We're hitting this one. I believe
pretty close.
So close. Last week should have happened. Renegades screwed us. They gave us back our money.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. All right, guys. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I guess I had something. I think I lost it. But since I'm in control of the end stream, I'm gonna be the last one to talk, so we're not being awkward. Do appreciate you guys though. Two football fans. Just trying to get in on doing some of this stuff. Depending on how it goes, like I said, I mean, maybe this turns into some Canadian football action. And you're looking at, Ty is, I said it before, Ty is probably the only person that I've ever seen win money at not spring training, preseason for the NFL. We've won some Canadian football together. Looking really excited to see what it's going to be like to have a full year together, in the Discord and the, behind, that quote unquote paywall and the VIP or whatever. But, hopefully we can continue to kind of cook up, for the public, the free side of things, and give that knowledge at least, and, share some plays and everything that way too. But anyhow, Ty, you got any last comments, or we're gonna close it out?
Nope, we can close it out.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Let's see how it goes, and we'll see you guys back for week 5.
All right. Peace.